Hi, this is the Inspire View series, and I'm Cherrise Boucher of CherriseBoucher.com. Thank you so much for joining me again. My whole reason for creating this series is really for inspiring down-to-earth women who have followed their passions to share their stories and inspire other people to do the same. Whether you create a job out of it or you do it on the side, I think that is just so critical in our lives to incorporate something that we are passionate about, that our heart leads us to, that brings us joy. Because when we allow that in and we actually practice it, everybody around us benefits from it. So, and it's true. So today on the series, I want to introduce you to this gorgeous woman who I have recently been connected with in our book. A coach's, what is it? A day in the life. There it is.
There it is.
A day in the life of coaches. It was a book collaboration by coaches for coaches, sharing kind of what we wish we knew then. And it's a fantastic book, actually, and all the proceeds go to womenforwomen.org, which is a great organization that I encourage you to check out. But anyway, let me introduce you, because she's sitting right here in front of you and you're like, who is that lady? I'm going to put my glasses on so that I can actually read the introduction without squinting too much. Oops. Okay, so today, this lovely lady touches hearts, frees souls, and transforms lives. Aliza Bloom is my guest today. She is an author, speaker, spiritual coach, and vibrational catalyst. She inspires and teaches others how to step into greater ease, discover your deeper dreams, and step into the life you love. Having been an ordained unity minister for over 16 years, Aliza has seen it all and walked people through despair, doldrums, and challenges of every kind. What she knows to be true is that life can get easier, life can get juicy and yummy, and we are here to enjoy this life that we have. Aliza is founder and CEO of Divine Awakening, dedicated to the transformation of the planet, one soul awakening at a time. Her books include It's supposed to be Boa, right? Not a constrictor. I was going to say it like BOA. Be a Boa, not a constrictor. Falling into Ease, and the companion guidebook. She's contributing author in the 365 series, Moment of Grace and Ways to Connect with Your Soul, and the Coaches Collaboration. Welcome, welcome, Aliza.
Thank you, Cherrise.
I just messed up the title of your book.
Oh, it's Be a Boa, not a constrictor. Boa is bold, outrageous, and authentic.
Aha.
Coming into your own beingness. But yes, no worries. No worries. Great to be here with you.
That's how we roll, just whatever happens. It's perfectly imperfect. So that's okay.
That's right.
So share a little bit with us about how you got to this place that you're in now, because you do share a lot, obviously, based on the introduction. Ease and flow are big things for you, but I'm sure that wasn't always part of your life.
It was not always part of my life. As we were talking before the interview began, we often, what you find in the world is that the teachers are teaching what they most need to learn.
Right.
Right? So I came into an idea many years ago. And that idea was that life was supposed to be easier, life was supposed to be juicier, life was supposed to be funner. And ultimately, through my entire journey, I have come into an experience of that. Now, I will say, caveat, disclaimer, I do not live 100% of my time in ease and grace and joy. I have my moments. But what I do have is the tools and the awareness to shift those in any moment, to really catch myself, right? Because we know when we're in a loop, we know we're in a spin, we know when we're not in ease, because we can feel it in our bodies, to catch it, to shift it in a moment, and to return back into ease. So I think you kind of asked about my journey. Did you want me to share that?
A little bit. Let's give us a little insight, like the real Aliza and how she got to this place. What led you to this passion of doing what you're doing that you write about and you share?
Right. That sounds like such a simple question. So let me just briefly say this. In 1992-ish, somewhere, a long time ago, we're talking a long time ago, I was following my bliss. I was following this man across the country. And I went from Phoenix to Santa Barbara to Colorado to Vermont, in love with my soulmate. I had 2 little kids at the time. They were little. They were like 4 and 7, I think. And one day in the middle of Vermont, now remember, I'm a Phoenix girl. Remember, you don't know that. I'm a Phoenix girl, and I find myself in Vermont in the winter time.
Oh, yeah.
I ended up being there about 4 months. I never knew if there was a sidewalk in front of our place or not, because the snow never melted. And in that time frame, my world fell apart. Everything crashed. And as some of you are having crashes right now, everything crashed. The relationship fell apart. Everything crumbled. And I had a moment where I literally fell on my knees, and I just prayed. I didn't even know I was praying. I said, oh God, if there's a God, help me. I do not know how to manage my life, obviously. I'd already been in manifesting. I'd already been in visualization. I knew the tools, but I surrendered in such a way on my knees, literally and figuratively. And what I heard and what I sensed was, if you follow me, I will show you the next step. And I made a covenant, and I said, okay, I will take the next step. I will take the step that is shown to me. I will walk through the doors that are open to me. And that began a real spiritual awakening for me. Very soon after that, within a couple of years, I heard this: you need to go to seminary and become a minister. I'm like, what? You got the wrong person here. Yeah, no. Here's that voice. Yeah, but you said you'd walk through the doors. Well, the doors opened up. So I had this incredible calling into ministry with amazing synchronicities and doors opening and entire program shifting and changing so that I could be there. I just have done a series, it's on my Facebook page, about looking forward by looking back. So I've been doing live videos about my journey. I was back at Unity Village, which is where I was ordained, and where I got a download of my ordination, and I had all of these really mystical experiences. So that was all great. So I became a minister, and I was out doing church, and I was like having this fabulous life, and everything was going along just great. But then this is the catcher, right? I'm having this experience, and I'm called out of ministry. Like Spirit goes, you're going to become a minister. Then 10 years later, well, it's actually 12 or 14 years later, after I've been in ministry for 10 years, it's like, oh, time to leave. I'm like, what? You got the wrong girl here.
I think you've got the wrong email address right there.
You're talking to the wrong person. And what that journey, and there are lots of stuff, but you can hear about that and read about that, in offline here. But basically, I left. I followed Spirit. And I was led on this. I made a deal with God. The deals don't ever work out. So if you're making deals with God, just give it up. Just surrender. Just let it go. And I said, okay, here's what I can do. I can take 3 months. I'll take 3 months. I'll quit my job. I'll take 3 months, and then I'll go find another job, right? Because jobs are good. Income is good. Life is good, all of that. And that 3 months turned into about 15 months of absolute surrender. And so I let go of my job. I let go of my career. I let go of my home. I let go of my relationship. I was in my car for 15 months.
Wow.
With an incredible sense of being on this pilgrimage. I was in absolutely nowhere but the present moment, and I would hear and I would sense, it's like, oh, go here. And I would go there and stay, a week or a month or 2 months, and then it'd be like, oh no, go here. And I just was home free for that time period. But what was happening inside of me was a real metamorphosis. It was surrendering not only of the material things and the outer things and the tangible things, but I was led really on a journey of surrendering the pain, the unworthiness, the guilt, the blame, the shame, the not enough. I had to move through fear and anger and rage and clear it. Really, it was being cleared out of my system. And then I was called to surrender my beliefs. I had to unpack everything I believed about anything.
Wow.
So that by the kind of towards the end of this journey, I was so empty. I was completely emptied out. It was like, talk about a clean slate. And then it became it was like time to begin entering the world again. And it was just a little bit, oh, go here. Oh, my guy that we broke up in the middle of this, and I like reconnect. I was like, oh, that's weird. And we ended up married. We're married now. So now we say we've had 10 years together, even though like 2 of those years we were not together, and it's beautiful. And so things came back, and I went back into church. I took another ministry, got called out of that again. Now that's done and complete. Started to develop the work that I offer now, which is a signature system of gently, quickly, and easily dissolving the lifelong limiting patterns and the invisible glass ceilings. So quick. It's so quick. My experience is it was not quick. It took a long, long time. It was excruciating work. But now it's like what's been downloaded is this really simple way to do it. And this absolute knowing in the cells of my being that life can be easier.
Wow.
That you can get through whatever it is you're standing in and come through the other side and go, whoa, and that's what fulfillment looks like. And that's what freedom feels like.
That is like massively impactful.
Yeah.
To share with other people, because I mean, how many of us, well, we were talking before we started recording. All good stuff happens before we start recording, about how in hindsight, you see things and everything. If I had known then what I know now, like you said, about ways to shift, you have tools in your toolbox, your energetic toolbox of how to shift things. Awareness. I talk about awareness a lot, because it is critical to make changes. But you have to have the awareness first, because you can change things like that if you're aware of it.
Right.
And it's amazing. And for you to have gone through everything that you've gone through to come to the point to share how to make it less painful and quicker for other people who are ready.
Sure
you have to be ready. You can't just force somebody into doing it, but
I'm gonna make you be easy. No, it doesn't work that way, right?
But that's such a gift for yourself and for those people who need you in their life and need what you're teaching.
Yeah, it's really quite brilliant. And the shift, I was calling my work the shift, so I love that you were using that word, is such a big part of it. And then the other equally important part is to come to know what your heart desires. And it's like the limiting beliefs keep us from knowing that and keep us from experiencing it. So it's like my work is threefold. There's a coaching aspect, there's a clearing aspect, but there's also an activational aspect. And that activational aspect is very much on a vibrational level. But it's like, what would I really love? What would I love? What about that would I love? And really empowering women, men too. I have some men clients, but really empowering us to step into a life of greater ease, to step into a life of greater joy, to bring, it's my belief that every single person on this planet has this gift to give to the planet. And maybe it's taking care of the plant in your yard. And maybe it's global impact. But when we come to align ourselves with those things by clearing out the noise, and fine-tuning the frequency, then what we experience is true contentment and fulfillment and freedom. And we're contributing to the world. It's not just, oh, I'm going to lay on my floaty in my lake. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's seriously nothing wrong.
There's definitely a good time to do that.
Absolutely.
You have to put that in your schedule.
And if we keep looking and we keep diving, there may or may not be something else,
Right.
But it's about letting go of the judgment and the expectations in order to be fully free right here in the moment. Any moment, every moment.
Absolutely. And it's important to, some people who maybe want it, but they are at the beginning of this sort of process. So, talking about our vibrations and allowing in ease and all those things are kind of maybe foreign to them. I take it for granted that that's part of my language now, but maybe you can explain like that whole concept of your vibrational level, because it really isn't as woo-woo as it sounds.
Yeah, it's pretty woo-woo and it's not.
Right. And then it is and it isn't, because you can recognize it very simply, even if you know nothing about any of this stuff.
Great. Thank you. Yes. So here's the simplistic and profound truth about it. We are either living in stress or in blessed. Right? So we'll just do a little example, right? Can we do that, Cherrise? Yeah. So everybody who's listening, and you and I do it too, go into that stressed place. It's like, It's so easy, right? It's like, and let your body right? Your shoulders, your ears, your chest, and your palms, and the headache, and my back, right? So just feel that. That is the way so many of us live on the planet.
Yeah.
And we were talking earlier about corporate, and if you're in a job and you're in corporate and you're, or you're having a challenge, the financial challenges, the health challenges, the diagnoses, all of that causes stress. But even in the midst of that, there's another place, there's another vibration. This is where we talk about vibration. So first, just feel that in your body, feel how you feel. And then simply because you can, and because you're being supported, right? Take a breath. And stand up. I'm not going to stand up because my belly will be in your video, right?
Doing boob shots or something.
Right. Which is nothing wrong with that either, but not for this moment, right? So stand up. If you're listening or watching to the recording, stand up. And just because you can, ask yourself, would I be willing to drop this for a different experience? Now, it doesn't mean the outer world changes, but just drop the intensity of the stress level. Would you be willing? Cherrise, would you be willing? You can proxy for everybody. Yes. So
willing. Yes.
Feel it just energetically, feel it like the stress dropping off. Picture, in the movies where the girl drops her evening gown at the end of the day, falls in a puddle, right? Picture that. I tried to say, let's do it. Who does that? I don't know. Sometimes it falls on, but anyway. So picture the stress just falling off of you. Just for the moment. You can pick it up later if you need it. Just falling off of you. And then if you're standing up, look at it around you and take one giant step out of it. Right? Just do that physically and just notice what you notice. Open your shoulders, open your palms, look up. And what do you notice that's different? Sure, you see you didn't even move, but what do you notice that's different?
Yeah, it feels lighter and freer. Not so tight and constricted.
And that is how we are meant to be on the planet. And it's that simple, and it's that quick, And the work and the gift that I bring is not only to activate those simple little places, but then to teach your body to become, for this to be the habit, right? For this to be the norm. And then when you get called back into stress, you can remember, go, oh yeah, wait.
Right. And choose.
And choose.
A different way.
Right. And it's in our thought. So we choose with our thought. And the reason I use vibration is because it's in our vibrational being, it's in our frequency. So you can actually, when you feel that open space, that lighter space, that's a very different vibration.
It is.
So just for fun, everybody go back to stress. Ugh.
Yeah.
And then choose again. Stand up, let it drop. Take a step forward, and then we're back in ease.
Yeah. That's a fun and quick exercise.
So much of what I have is fun and quick because I kind of like fun and quick.
Yeah. Because it's not daunting. Like people are like, oh my God, was this going to take me months to learn this technique? And it's going to take me 30 minutes or more a day. That's why I like my energy resets that I talk about. This is a perfect energy reset. And it's so easy. It's easy little things that you can do to just shift your energy, shift your perspective, so that you feel better. Because if you stay in that, if you wallow and stay in that space, that, I mean, it what is it? It increases. It gets bigger and bigger. And then other people start to feel it. Yeah. And then you find yourself in a worse position because now people are avoiding you because you have this like negative energy around you. It's like, so there is no benefit to staying in that space for long.
Not for long.
Acknowledging it, owning it for the moment, and then doing this quick little exercise is great. Like you can have your little temper tantrum or whatever if you want to, so that you acknowledge and express that moment that you're feeling it, because we can't ignore our feelings.
We cannot ignore our feelings. We cannot ignore our feelings. And if you happen to be somebody who's really in the midst of life, if you're grieving or you're scared or you're sick or whatever, just practice this anyway. It doesn't mean you make that go away. It doesn't mean you discount what you're experiencing. But if you can find even a moment of relief,
yeah,
your body can just relief, just like, okay, I can breathe. Right. Then the healing process can begin, and then the pathways can begin to open. So right. Wherever you are, and if your life's fabulous, still do it.
Yeah.
Play with it.
Because it helps. It helps
it does.
No matter what. And I like that, because people, bad shit happens. It just does. And we experience things, loss, grief, depression, like various things do happen to us. But being open to trying something little, and knowing that there are little things you can try and continue to do, it may just have bigger effects than you think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it does. And it will. Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Those are great. I love that. I love the quick little things. So I assume you practice that very often.
I practice that very often. And, just for disclaimer, there's moments when I forget to practice it.
Yeah. We're all human. We don't always practice what we preach.
But I do remember more often than not. Can I share a little story?
Yeah, absolutely.
My husband and I have just recently moved, and we had a place in Dallas. We were doing a ministry in Dallas for a few years, and we still had a home outside of Dallas. This never really quite worked for us, so we were trying to sell it, and we had it on the market, and then we finally, anyway, that's a long story that doesn't matter. But we got a contract on our house, and it was like came out of nowhere. We were getting ready to put it on the market, and it came out before it even went on the market. Like, oh, cool, yes. It looked like it was going to be so easy and so quick, and I know this stuff, and I know the tools, and I know how to make my life work well.
Right.
I have to tell you that this particular contract on this house, supposed to be 30 days easy, as is everything, piece of cake. It was a nightmare. It was, we got the contract. It was over 2 months. It was like 68 days to close this thing. It was struggle. It was, it was just nightmare. It was unbelievable, the challenge that we came into in selling this house. It was totally right to sell. So I'm just saying this because even when we know, life gives us opportunities, right? So my husband, who is just a beautiful spiritual soul, likes to process, like, what could be the worst thing that happened, right? That's a good process.
Yeah.
And for him, it works because it clears his worry mind. Once he's acknowledged the worst thing, okay, well, that wouldn't be so bad, then he doesn't have to worry about it.
Right.
And I am like total opposite. I'm like, I'm not going there. I'm not going to think about that. No, stop it. So we had this, all the way through. And we were scheduled to close finally after, incredible stories in all of that. And we're coming down to the wire. We're coming down to the day. Our stuff's been long moved. Weeks ago, our stuff was moved because it was supposed to close, and we're driving across the country to our new location, and it was supposed to close. We signed our papers Thursday afternoon. It was close to close Friday morning, and so we're like on the phone. Oh, Friday morning. Oh, we hear and we get it. So we're back and forth with our title company and everything. Oh yeah, the buyer sent his papers in, but he didn't get them notarized. Like, are you serious? So they sent, because they knew what a nightmare had been, they sent somebody all the way across Dallas, which is not a small city, to wait for the guy to come out. He was, he's in the medical field, but to come out of what he was doing so that he would sign the papers, get them notarized, and go back. And he made them wait for like 5 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Ticking and 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 ticking. Meanwhile, the house that we're buying has a deadline on us because they've got other offers, right? And so they're like, well, we said, what's the latest, the last minute? It was like 4:30, and then it's like, and then like that's it. Right, 4:30. So at 10 to 4, we finally hear from our end, Dallas end, that it funded. I'm like, oh, thank goodness. So we're on the phone with the title company. Meanwhile, we're driving across country still, right? We're on the phone with the title company in our new location. They're like, nope, hasn't come in. Nope, hasn't come in. Nope, hasn't come in. Nope, hasn't come in. Talk about having to surrender. It's like, okay, let it go. We'll go get a hotel. We'll move our stuff out of temporary storage into permanent storage. We'll go on another adventure. It's like, okay, 4/28, it funded.
Oh my gosh. Talk about the last minute.
And because we had so much on our side, it actually went. Now here we are. That was July 22nd. Here we are. We're recording on 9/21. So 2 months later, we still have a legal piece standing out there pending because of this buyer, and it's just like, seriously, it's been so crazy. And yet, in the midst of that, it would be like, oh, what are we going to do? It's like, okay, no, wait. Trust, surrender, come into open the space, open the pathways, do all the tools, and it's okay either way.
Right.
No, I want what I want when I want it. Okay, have a temper tantrum. What you feel, what do we need to do right now? Open the pathways, open the pathways. And it was so curious because all of this time, right, my book, Falling into Ease, is at the publisher, is at, like, we're in editing, and I'm like, oh, my life is anything but easy. Anyway, I just wanted to share that because, life continues to happen and we continue to get opportunities from outer, but you can always choose how to stand in them. Mm-hmm. You can always choose again.
Yeah, I love that. I love the awareness of that practice and knowing that there are things you just literally can't control. So
let me just tell you,
Yeah.
the truth is you literally can't control anything. So
Except your own feelings, your own
well,
reaction.
you can't even control those half the
Well,
time.
yeah, they come out. I mean, you can shift them. You can
Shift them.
you can have the awareness to make it less stressful.
That's right. Absolutely.
But I know a lot of people that do. They just put so much worry and concern and urgency into something that they have no control. Like they couldn't make a phone call. They couldn't write a letter. They couldn't go see anybody in person. Like there's literally nothing that could happen to change what's happening. Yet the stress, that constricted feeling, stays with them.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's so, I practice that myself, you know, like what can I literally do to change? Is there anything that I could do that I haven't done yet to change it? And if not, then I just go write it out, you know, just let it go. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen either way. So put the positive energy out there for the best end result.
Right. And one of the things that I've done is I've created this free report, and it's on my website, and Cherrise will post the link to that, but it is simple tips for life's difficult moments. And it's 21 simple little things you can do in 30 seconds or less, things that you can do physically right now, today. And some of them will totally work for you and some of them might not, but it's okay. There's 21. Yeah. Choose the things that work. And consciously take charge of your own beingness, right?
Right.
Because life is going to keep coming at you, but this is what, as Cherrise says, this is the only thing we can control, and sometimes we can't even control that, but we can choose, and we can shift.
Yeah. You know, we might have a split reaction and our, you know, something triggers us, but when you catch yourself having that, you can change how you're reacting to it so much quicker. I mean, I practice that almost daily in the car. I'm driving my son to school or picking him up or something, you know, and some, you know, other drivers. I mean, I've been rear-ended twice in less than 2.5 months. So, you know, you're just like, okay, when I catch myself getting upset over somebody else, do I really have any control over the situation? No, I don't. All I can control is my reaction to it. Mm-hmm. So I try to let it go. Mm-hmm. Because otherwise stress will make you physically sick. Mm-hmm. And nobody wants that. And it's inevitable because it used to happen to me when I was much younger, until I just finally, I came to that on my own realization around that by, you know, I can only do what I can do.
That's right.
It's not worth getting physically sick over.
That's right. So if the gift that I can bring to the world or bring to you, listener, is to release a little bit of the worry or release a little bit of the stress, then I've done my job.
Yeah.
My book is called Falling into Ease, and had a lot of names along the ways, but the subtitle is Release the Struggle so that you can live the life you love. And so it's possible. If you're struggling right now, if you're suffering right now, if you know there's more. One of my programs a couple of years ago was just called Hungry for More purpose, more passion, more connection, more ease, more abundance, more health. It's accessible. It is so accessible. It is so close. It is so close. And my clients, what I do for my clients is just really shine the light so that they can see it and become it. We also certainly do a lot of clearing, energy clearing and emotional healing and all of that. But if you are in any of those places, make the decision, you know, to let go of the stress, to move beyond the worry, and to take the action steps that you need to take to do that, whether it's working with Cherrise or working with me or getting on a free program or whatever it takes.
Right.
Whatever it takes. Because I take a stand for life being easier and funner and greater.
Yeah, and who doesn't want that?
And juicier and yummier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Who doesn't want that?
Who
Everybody
doesn't want that?
I have a vision right now of all of us running through a field of flowers, that is how you raise your vibration.
That is exactly how you raise your vibration. Not as
being silly, doing stuff that makes you feel light and excited, and it's not woo woo, and it's real life.
It's real life.
It really is.
It's real life. Yeah.
And then your chapter in the book that we wrote together.
Yes.
Well, with 10 other coaches.
Yes.
That's the right number, right? So,
I don't know. There were 11 to 12. I'm not sure.
It's called Saving Your Soul While Giving Your All.
Yes.
And some people might go, soul, that sounds like really religious stuff.
I know, right?
If they're not into that, and they're like, what?
What?
So is it like?
It is not religious at all. And I was very conscious when I titled it that. It's like, that sounds like you have to go be saved. And I am a minister, and I've been a minister for over 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
But that is not it. It is about taking care of yourself first. It is about saving your soul, which means so many of us, especially women, overgive.
Yeah.
About giving your all, but not giving above and beyond your all. It's about keeping yourself filled up first. It's about remembering to take care of yourself. Mm. And I use soul because that is like the connected part of you, right? We have our personality, and then we have our soul. And there's lots of different variations of how that's defined, and it's very loose in this chapter. Mm-hmm. But it's about, so many of us, especially new coaches, come in and we know we can change the world, and we overgive and we experience burnout. It's really easy to be in burnout, right, as a brand new coach. So saving your soul by giving your all is finding that place, catching that place, taking care of yourself first so that you can give your all. And so it's got some great tips, and it's got some great dialogue and some examples about that in that chapter. Great.
I love the whole really taking care of yourself first concept, because I do share, I'm right there with you. Yeah. I share those beliefs as well, knowing what I know now. Right. And that giving, and I'm going to say especially women, because I'm not a man and I don't know, but in my own experience, women put themselves on the back burner too often, and we give of ourselves, we give in our businesses, or we give to our families, and then we feel guilt about doing something for ourselves, and we shouldn't, because if we aren't there in the best and healthiest version of ourselves, then we can't give at all.
That's true.
So you're doing yourself and everybody that you're giving to a disservice if you don't take care of yourself first.
Yeah. And you're right, especially women. We're overgivers and we're overcarers. And so for some reason we've learned culturally that we're supposed to give to everybody else. It's selfish to give to ourselves. But yet, and I'm just repeating what you just said, but until we really come to the place where we put ourselves first, where we love ourselves first, where we take care of ourselves first, we're really no good to anybody else.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Right. We're not, because, you see it all the time, even if you push yourself too much. Even if you take the family stuff out of it and you're just like a go entrepreneur or something, you're going to burn out.
Yep.
And then you get sick, and then you've got, you're in bed for 3 days, hopefully only 3 days,
months.
Or months. And then what? Then you're not giving anything.
Yeah.
So you have to pay attention, the awareness and the signs. What did you say earlier? Get hit with something by the universe before you get hit by the 2x4.
Yeah, we were talking about, let's pay attention to the feathers,
Oh yeah, the feathers, right.
And then the knocks, and then the sticks, and then the cosmic 2x4s, and then the cosmic boulders that put you down and out.
Right.
not going to pay attention, but there's a way to pay attention to the still silent voice within, to the little nigglings, to that, I feel tired. I think I should take a nap. No, I don't need a nap. It's like, no, if you feel that, go take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You'll be more productive later. You'll be better equipped to handle.
Totally agree.
Yeah. So as I read through our collaborative book, which I love too, by the way, by the colors and it's just such a great book. The themes were so similar. Did you notice that? It's like so many of the chapters had similar themes, very different takes, very different ideas, but very similar themes throughout. So
yeah, it's all about us. Not us the authors, but us the people.
Us the people, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And it's just, somebody may listen to this, and think, yeah, I've heard that a million times. But are you paying attention to it, and are you doing it? Because sometimes we know things and we keep blowing it off and pushing it aside. And I'll do that later or whatever. Or, I'll focus on myself next week or something. I've got all this stuff to do. And I'm guilty of that. I've heard some things a million times and not heeded, the practice or whatever. And then you get shut down. You're going to get shut down somehow and forced to take the break or have your little reality check. So.
Right. It's taking what we know. It's taking what we know into practice. That's the integration. That, again, coming back around to the vibrational frequency, to the catalyst. That's actually where the changes are made, because we all know tons.
Yeah.
Do we embody it? That's really where the magic is.
Right. And even when life happens, to know that you've got those little tools to come back to, that little trigger in your mind that says, hey, you've got something you can use right now to relieve yourself of this.
Yeah. So that seems like the perfect segue to show you my books, right?
Yes.
Falling into Ease and the companion guidebook. The companion guidebook is filled with journaling prompts, exercises, and guided meditations to actually put into practice the principles found in this book. So,
nice. So it's not just a read, it's a read and do.
It's a read, and you can totally read, and there's some exercises even in the total read. It's I'll just say, because I think it's true, it's a really easy read. Has to be an easy read when you're talking about it's filled with stories and antidotes, so it's very engaging. And if you would like to fall into ease, or you would be interested in having life be just a little bit easier, I recommend you get it and read it and pass it on. And I would love to hear from you. I also have a Facebook group that Cherrise will post as well. It's called Falling into Ease. You can search it. Yeah. And we do something every day in that group. And some of them are the real simple things like we did earlier, just the technique. And sometimes it's questions, calibrated questions. Sometimes it's discussion. You also periodically get some free coaching and some definitely some Facebook Live in that group. So
nice. So we get to see more of your pretty smile and everything right there in your group.
Right there in my group. That's right. That's right.
Get your dose of Aliza anytime.
Anytime.
Go in her group and you can watch like the replays of her Facebook Lives.
Yep, absolutely.
Need a little ease tip. That's where you can find her. And it's Falling into Ease, the Facebook group.
The Facebook group is Falling into Ease, yes.
Okay. And your book is available on Amazon, obviously, and other booksellers as well, right?
Yes.
Good. So people can probably Google it and find it wherever they like to shop.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'll put a link to that, so it's easy peasy. I like to find things easy, and well, I do like to research stuff too, so I'm not going to lie. I am a good researcher. If it's easier to just click and go, then I like that too.
Let's make it easy. Yes.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being here today. It's been an absolute pleasure because this is the first time that we've actually talked face to face.
Yep, we've done lots of Facebook grouping, but
right. Yes, we have. But I love the value in actually interacting.
yes.
So it's one step below in person, but it counts.
But it counts. That's right. It counts. Yes.
So this interview and all of the links that Aliza is going to provide to me will be on my website, CherriseBoucher.com, under the Inspire View Series tab. And you'll also be able to find a link to the video all over Facebook too. It'll be in my page, on my business page,
It'll be on my page.
It'll be everywhere. So there'll be no escaping ease. I'm not going to escape it. And also, you know, that's one of those little signs that I like. If you keep seeing things, you know, more than once, it's a sign. That's another one of those awareness things that you need to follow up on or take action on. So if you see this video all over social media, it's a sign that you need more ease in your life.
That's right. That's right. That's the feather.
That's the feather, right?
Listen up.
Feather. You don't want the 2x4.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
All right. Thank you so much. And I hope you'll be a guest again and we'll interact more in the future for sure.
Absolutely. It was delightful to be with you, and many blessings to everybody who's watching and to you and your work, Cherrise. And it's been great. Thank you.
Thank you.